These are murky times in South Africa. The recession is bad enough, but it's scandal that's casting the heaviest shadow here. And no ordinary scandal. A mountain of newly leaked emails has helped expose what many believe is a criminal plot to capture the state itself.
And these emails show the scale of money laundering, the proximity to power, the extent to which this family hold sway over the president and those closest to him.
So it's dynamite?
It's absolute dynamite, yeah.
The emails appear to show how one wealthy Indian-born family, the Guptas, allegedly bought or bribed their way into the heart of government and the presidency of Jacob Zuma. One official told us the Guptas offered him cash and the job of finance minister.
They offered initially an initial 600,000 payment and 600 million later.
As a bribe?
And I don't know how to define that. I mean,
but they were trying to buy your loyalty as a minister.
You will have to work with them, basically, that's what they said.
A shadow state run by the Guptas?
Essentially, the shadow state run by the Guptas and Zuma.
The Guptas and their Oak Bay company have strenuously denied all such allegations. President Zuma too. But the howls of outrage here continue to grow.
You can see that there is a serious conflict of interest and, in fact, defeating the ends of justice by those who are in certain positions of power who made it possible for these vultures to make a meal of our democracy.
By vultures, you mean the Guptas?
The Guptas.
In the middle of this extraordinary political drama, a group of British spin doctors pitched up here in Johannesburg. Bell Pottinger had been hired by the Guptas to clean up their toxic reputation. Anyone could have told them it was a risky job. Then again, the contract for Bell Pottinger was worth £100,000 a month. Bell Pottinger's team was led by Victoria Gagan, soon to become a hate figure across South Africa. Leaked emails now appear to reveal her extraordinary strategy to deflect attention from the Guptas and their problems by focusing on race and inequality to play up this country's enduring divisions. It was either a cynical ploy or a naive blunder.
A nation that goes through many years of racial segregation and then fewer years of democratic dispensation where everyone's rights are protected and race becomes less of an issue, always has a powder keg of racial divisions upon it. And so when actions like Bell Pottinger, etc., then start that journey, it's very quickly for it to become a wildfire.
Bell Pottinger wrote or edited speeches for the Gupta's political allies.
If needs be, we declare civil war.
The firm later judging this civil war comment as positive or neutral. Meanwhile, a campaign against white monopoly capital began on social media, quickly going viral and getting amplified by uglier, more radical voices.
What's this one? This is a dog, basically, with puppies. Bitch. It was part of a black ops propaganda campaign to get the media off this corrupt network's back.
So they were trying to distract attention.
Yes, and it happened to many of us. All the journalists who were writing about state capture or who were interested in this new crony network, really you could see almost daily there would be these, largely driven on Twitter and social media, in quite insulting images of them made. And only now do you understand that it was actually a constructed campaign.
Bell Pottinger's precise role in some of this is hard to pin down. Slick new websites appeared from nowhere, along with an army of what appeared to be automated fake Twitter accounts. We asked an expert here if he could see Bell Pottinger's hand behind the scenes.
In looking at all of the evidence, the messages that were being tweeted, the fact that the narrative fits in exactly with the messaging they were trying to convey and that they recommended to the Gupta family, it stands to reason that they had to be either behind it or at least very closely involved.
Bell Pottinger won't comment on allegations made to Newsnight that fake Twitter accounts were created in London. But in a statement earlier this month, the firm's chief executive, James Henderson, conceded that the company had been behind an inappropriate and offensive social media campaign.
Africa is ours. It's not yours. You have no claim in it.
Before long, the anger stirred up online was spilling onto the streets. These people from a group called Black First, Land First, with alleged ties to the Guptas, attacked a white journalist's house and threatened others.
Black First, Land First is a revolutionary movement. We're going to end whiteness.
I got a taste of the group's rhetoric.
Because you British, because you are the white monopoly capital, you are worried about the Guptas because you believe the Guptas are organizing black people to take their wealth back. That is why you are organizing all this attack against the Guptas.
Bell Pottinger, what do you think of their role here in South Africa?
You see, you, British guy, London guy, I told you, I'm not talking to you anymore. So shut up, let's get other people.
But it wasn't long before South Africans started fighting back against the race baiting and much more.
Wasn't me. The cabinet we fought over wasn't me. Jacob keeps getting bolder. Wasn't me.
Furious satire against the Guptas and President Zuma.
I got to go now. Important meeting. Jacob! Jacob!
And for Bell Pottinger, online, a storm of rage and indignation.
Eventually, Bell Pottinger got the message, dropped the Guptas as clients, apologised for an inappropriate and offensive campaign, sacked the partner in charge and launched an internal investigation. Back in London, the company insists it was misled about what was really going on here. But was it? From the very start, said one source, there was utter fury and disgust internally about this contract. Management knew the depth of feeling in the office and defended their decision. That's a claim Bell Pottinger denies, saying we took action as soon as we were made aware of behaviour that went against the very core of our ethical policies. The picture is muddied by a bitter falling out between Lord Tim Bell and the company he founded. The peer, who left last year, says he warned against taking on the Gupta account and says the firm's senior management knew all about it. The company declined to comment on this claim, but a source there told us Bell himself had helped to secure the account. The source said CEO James Henderson had been aware of plans to promote economic emancipation, but was not aware of the details of what his staff were doing until the story broke in the South African media. So what now? The demand here is for the company to reveal all.
If they want to truly retain some credibility out of this saga, it must be on the basis of total transparency. Building institutions takes a long time, and the kind of institutions we are talking about are vital to any state anywhere in the world. Destroying them can happen overnight,
and Bell Pottinger
has contributed to that.
And that makes my blood boil. That makes me so angry that essentially they came here to destroy what we've painstakingly, painfully built over 23 years.
This has been a bruising experience all round, but the larger battle is only just getting started here in South Africa. A fight back against state capture, against President Zuma, and against a rainbow nation's dangerous decline.